to a move by the protesters to try to encircle the government headquarters. After several hours now, the police appear to have pushed into this highway now, and they're clearing the demonstrators out. There's scuffling that's going on, and at this point we can see the demonstrators being pushed out. This is moments after one of the main student protest leaders vowed that the protesters would continue to encircle the government headquarters to force the government, as he put it, to give in to the demonstrators' demands. So it is a tense night this evening around the government headquarters here in central Hong Kong. Also the scene of a sit-in that has taken place and that has paralyzed parts of the downtown area for more than 2 months now.
That was just a short time ago. Let's bring in Ivan Watson live now from Hong Kong. Ivan, the last few hours have been pretty heated. What's going on around you now?
Well, it's 3 a.m. local time here. It's raining. The police have succeeded in opening the road in front of the government headquarters. And at this late hour, you still have hundreds, if not thousands, of demonstrators who are still staying here, and they're chanting one theme over and over again: universal suffrage. That's one of the demands for elections here for the top official in Hong Kong. That's at the root of the dispute here. But to give you a sense of how kind of unpleasant the standoff has gotten, even though there's no real violence to speak of in our immediate vicinity right now, moments ago, an injured police officer was brought out on a gurney to an ambulance waiting here. The police officers applauded. The demonstrators here booed that injured police officer who may have gotten hurt in the scuffles that we saw earlier this evening. The main sit-in, still that protest encampment still in place, an encampment that has been here for more than 2 months, and a spike in the confrontation taking place here in this part of Hong Kong over the last several hours. John.
Now, you make that point. It has been more than 2 months. This is starting to look very familiar. Let me ask you, have the demonstrators gained anything from all of this? Have the authorities made any concessions?
You know, there have been attempts at talks between the main protest leaders, talks that were actually televised live between the main protest leaders and top officials from the Hong Kong government. But the government seems to have ceded territory in part of central Hong Kong to the protest encampment. And that strategy for more than 2 months seems to have worked in some degree, because a recent poll has shown that a majority of Hong Kong residents surveyed are in favor of disbanding the encampment, of opening the roads, and that it's clear that segments of population here have grown tired with the inconvenience of one of the main arteries in town being blocked. But as you can see, there is another sector of Hong Kong society still very determined and still out here in large numbers, despite the rain, despite the late, or you could argue early hour, determined to get what they say is their democratic right. So it is a test of wills now, more than 2 months into this protest movement. As you can hear, someone chanting, "Democracy now." John.
Still not over on the streets of Hong Kong. Ivan Watson working on the night shift for us. Thanks very much.